vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in 2019 elections, Mr. Peter Obi has said that borrowing progressive business ideas from China will be more beneficial to Nigeria than taking public loans to pump into the economy. Obi, who made this remark at the 60th Founders Day lecture of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, said China had gone through different stages of national development to arrive at the present level. He said it would therefore pay Nigeria better to copy China's economic development template rather than running to them for loans. Obi argued that China, that could only boast of a GDP per capita of $960 in year 2000, had grown to a GDP per capita of $10,275 in 2019, with a high human development index of 0.798 in 2019 as against 0.594 in year 2000. Obi said the huge economic development seen in China is as a result of huge investments in MSME sector, which drastically reduced unemployment and increased government revenue. In its words, MSMEs in China, which constitute about 95% of Chinese firms, account for 60% of China's GDP and contribute more than 65% of the import and export business in China. They also contributed about 50% of the overall tax revenue of government. MSMEs constitute about 95% of all enterprises in China. China's GDP is today about $14 trillion, which means that 60% translates to about $8.4 trillion, about 21 times the GDP of Nigeria. MSMEs account for over 60% of industrial output and provide over 60% of the overall employment and 80% of urban employment in China. Talking about the growth of the MSMEs, 10 years down the line, 60% of the MSMEs have shown to become large corporates when compared with Nigeria, that 96% are still at the micro stage. China has about 840 million people employed, which is 60% of the population, and MSMEs provide 60% of this, which is 500 million people. In urban employment, the contribution of MSMEs is even greater. 80% of urban employment is attributed to MSMEs, about 500 million people employed in urban areas. MSMEs employ 400 million. China had planned to create 50 million jobs from 2015 to 2020, which is 10 million annually, and is religiously following the plan year on year. In fact, China has consistently suppressed its annual targets. China has an unemployment rate of only 3.7%. The event was attended by notable Nigerians, including the principal members of the university. Obi was accompanied by Professor Stella Okuna, Engineer Patrick Obi, Mr. Ndubisi Menekaya, Mr. Paulinus Aniagbasu, among others. People are always making jest of this man, that he's always using China as a reference point. China, 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 China man. I remember in 2019 presidential elections, debates rather, um, he was giving analysis on how economy works, how economy works. The question is that, when people begin to talk, you say, oh, it is always good for them to talk. Talk is cheap. This and this and that. When they are not in government, they begin to say all manner of things. But when they are given opportunity to do that thing that they have been talking about even before coming into power, it becomes a problem. They begin to give excuses. But it's the same thing with a Peter Obi's case. I don't think it is totally true, because this is a man that has been tested and trusted. Of course, some of the people, just like Oji Zokalo, that is coming to say, oh, yes, let Nigerians give him a chance. Let him do this. He's going to give Nigeria the 20th century economy. And people are asking, oh, this man, yes, let us check his records. He has been a governor before and in Abia State. How well did he manage the state? That is a big question, because you need to check someone's antecedent, what he has done, what he has gone through before he can make some kind of statement. So when you talk about a Peter Obi is the man that has been tested and trusted, and when he talks, you should know where he's talking from, because like they always say, charity begins at home. Charity definitely begins at home. How well did he manage Anambra State? For those who did not know, the man did tremendously well. He did tremendously well. He did everything possible. You know, they were calling him a very stingy person, because the man will come and tell you that, okay, and nobody has come to debunk what he said, because he has been giving lectures since he left the office. Something that they will that can be done for 1.5, they will tell you 600,000 naira. You not say sure, but this thing before I became this thing, I know how I do this thing outside. How come that the government would not be expensive? That is a how they do padding. Padding. By the time they pad everything, nothing will be left. That's why you ask somebody, and it's like that thing has really trickled down. That was when I got to know that, you know, even in everyday Nigerians setting, you said somebody get me this, something is 5 naira, they will tell you, oh, it's 13 naira. They will put their own, they say, hey, no, baby, won't go this and that, but it's a different thing entirely. So that is where this whole thing started. But padding, putting a lot of things. That's why you see at government's house, they buy the same utensils they use, the same office equipment they use. Every year they change it. And go and check all of them in their houses. They can use something for 10 years, 5 years. But when it comes to government, and everybody will be accepting it like that, that is the conspiracy they are doing there. So when you ask the man how well he managed his state, of course the records are there for people to see. He did so well, to the extent he even saved money. And I think they put it in law that you cannot even go, even any government that will be coming, you can't just go there and say you want to just go and be taking money from the coffers of the state government, which they did very well. And I think as of last year also, or this year, we were told how much that money has yielded. But because no government after him will go there and be taking the money, because the money is meant for the people. So if this man is talking from that angle, you know that he knows what he's talking about, not just saying some things. Just like this man came out the other day, oh, there is food is surplus, the prices of foods are going down now. I mean, the spokesman to the president, Garba Shehu, and at the end of the day, he said, experts said. That was where he got his whatever statement from, and he was saying it with all manner of confidence. Not that you went there. He said experts, according to experts report, that food stuff are going down. The prices of food stuff are going down. And one will be wondering, we are talking of reality. He says people that will just write whatever they want to write. What they write is different from reality. So it's not that kind of person. You know that, oh, this man has said this, has said it. But another thing is that if the government will be able to listen, instead of borrowing money, borrow ideas, they will not want to do that. You know, lazy man work. They just want quick fix. These are the people that are called, they will be talking about patriotism. And more so, they will not want to listen. And I will always ask, we have this economic team after they remove the vice president from the chairman of the economic team, or so, whatever. They created another one. At the end of the day, those people who are there, we have the likes of Soludo, Rewani, Bismarck Rewani. Those are very, very intelligent people. You know, they are just there to advise. Do you know whether they have done the same thing? Or they might not even want to do the same thing, but we can't say whether they have given advice to the government and the government has refused to listen. It's a different thing entirely. But are we sure that this government is even ready to listen to anybody? Before you know it again, they will come out and say, oh, what did you do? You don't have the moral justification to tell us this, to tell us that, to tell us this. That is how we have been rolling. So he has given his advice instead of borrowing money, borrow ideas. So guys, leave your comments below and let us have your take on this. Thank you.